welcome to Katie's Playtime. I'm back! And today we have a request from Lizzie Kenner, and that's how to make our own paintbrushes. What a great request! That's fantastic! So what I've got is quite a few things put together so we can create our own paintbrushes. Now, what I've collected myself is some crepe paper, a piece of felt. You need some pegs. I've chosen to use wooden ones just because, you know, paintbrushes do have wooden handles, but if you've got plastic ones, that's fine. I've also got a scouring pad that you use in the kitchen, so we can cut that up as well. And also a scouring pad that's got a scourer on one side and a sponge on the other side, so we can have some fun with this one for sure. We've also got just a normal sponge, some pipe cleaners. From the art and craft area, I got some fluffy balls, so that will just be able to give us a nice texture effect, I suppose. So I've got 4 of those. They're all the same. I just like 2 different colors, that's all. We've also got some green string and some cotton wool. Also, I have my scissors, so I can cut up all my things that I've collected. And I've got a palette of paint, which I haven't mixed all together yet. I've got a red one, I've got red and white to make pink, I've got yellow and red to make orange, I've got yellow, blue and white to make light blue, and just normal blue. So we can have some fun with that. I've also got some water here just in case I need it, but I don't think we'll need it. So let's get started. Make sure you've got an A3 piece of paper so you can have some fun painting on. I've also got some newspaper on my table so I don't make a mess, too much of a mess anyway, to clean up afterwards. Maybe do this activity where if you do get paint everywhere, it's easy to clean up, or chuck the paper away. Okay, so let's get started. So let's start with the crepe paper. So what I'll get you to do is, if you've got a big piece like I do, which is like this, what I'll get you to do is just fold it over, and then we'll fold it over again. And we'll just keep on folding until it's nice and thick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold it again. And then that's going to give us these little edges on the end. We're then going to just roll the top so it's nice and rolled all the way down. That's going to leave a nice feathery look on the ends. So you're then going to get your peg, and you're going to peg it. That's our first paintbrush. Pretty easy, isn't it? Pretty cheap. So let's go move on to our next one. Our next one is our felt. So again, what I'm going to do, we can fold it if you'd like, but maybe we could try something else. Like maybe if I cut a strip using our scissors, and be very careful with your scissors. Like in my other videos, I do say make sure you don't cut your fingers, or get a parent or guardian to help you if you need to. Cut a nice strip, and then what I'll get you to do is again, I'm gonna get that stickiness off. And then what I'm going to get you to do is roll the top again. So roll, roll, all the way down until you're about 3/4 of the way down, so you just got the edge there. And then we're going to use our peg again, a new one, and we're going to peg the top so it's nice and strong. Then we're going to use our scissors and we're going to cut into the felt just to make it look like it's got some fingers. So let's try it. So be very careful. So only cutting the edges and only, you know, as far up as you want to. I'm going to go all the way up to where the rolled bit is. And you can make the fingers as thick or as thin as you want them. So there's my little fingers. So now what I'm going to do is they're a bit long, so what I might do is just cut the edgings, just so then that way my fingers are a little bit shorter, because I think they're going to be a bit too long to paint with. And there we are, there's my fingers. Oh, I didn't really cut it that straight, did I? Let's try it again. There we go, that's better. Now that's a cool paintbrush. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Okay, and my next one I'm going to do is now those fluffy balls. So basically what I'll get you to do is just grab 2 of them. I'm gonna use one of each color just because I like pink and purple. And using your peg, just squish them together. And peg. Ooh! Oh, did you see that? We'll try it again. This one's a tricky one. There we go. I've got it. So you can see by using the 2 colors, you've got the pink and then the purple. And what I've done is I've used 2, so then that way my peg is more open. And because it's more open, you're gonna get more of that sponge come through, sponge effect, so we can do some dots on there or something. So that's my 3rd paintbrush. So should I use the other 2? Maybe we can, why not? We could maybe do another color. Let's do it this way. So this time I'm gonna do the purple and then the pink. So squish it in. There we go. Oh, this one's a little bit wider. So depending on how you put it in the peg, depends on how wide you put it, how wide it makes the circles. So have a go with that one. There's 2 different ways. Okay, so now let's go on to our mascara. So with this one, why don't we do something, you know, maybe a little bit more effective? This one would look really good as like grass or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into a long strip like this. And then I'm going to fold it so it's in half. And then, oh, you don't want to use that one. That one's nearly broken. And then we're going to peg it. And then we're going to fold it back. Then we're going to grab another peg. And we're going to peg it again. And another peg and peg it on the other side again. That one's pretty cool. So now we're gonna get like that. Oh, I just broke the peg. Let's try it again. Oh no. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. I did it. Let's hope it doesn't break next time. Be careful if you're making them at home that they don't break. Okay, so let's now move on. So that's our next one, which is quite cool. I'm excited to use that one. Okay, now we'll use our pipe cleaners. So what I was thinking with this one is if we were to just do something like if we maybe twist them together maybe. Give them a twist, and then we'll fold it, and then we'll twist it. So it's something like this, so it's like a twist down the end, and then maybe if we loop the top, and then we'll peg it. What you might have to do is peg it on the side and then just bend it. So then that way it kind of comes straight. Otherwise you're not going to be able to peg it properly. So what I've done is I've twisted the pipe cleaner and then I've basically bent the top and then I've pegged the top for it to hold on, and then I've bent it so it was like that, and then I've just bent it going down. And then that's my paintbrush. Okay, so that one's done. The next one I have is a sponge. So what I was thinking to do with this one was if we cut it in half, we don't want that one, and maybe if we were to do like, I don't know, a circle maybe. I'm actually doing a circle but making the edges really sharp, so then that way you can see my scissor marks all the way around it. This will give us a great texture when we're painting. See, that looks great. So like I've got the bits where I've cut into it, so when I actually streak it, it's gonna come out all different. That's gonna be exciting. Grab your peg and choose a side that you like. I like this side, so I'm gonna peg the top of that one. Okay, that one's done. We'll clear our table. Okay, and now we're going to use the sponge and the mascara. So this one's quite cool because you've got two textures in one. What I am going to do is do about 3 different paintbrushes with this one. So what I'll get you to do is cut a strip down the end. And with our first one, I'm going to get you to do a nice square. So you can see the mascara and the sponge together. Then I'm going to get you to get the peg and peg where you can see both of them. So when we do our art, we then have the sponge and the mascara all in one brush. So that's our first one out of this sponge. The second one I'm going to get you to, again, cut it into another square. And so you've got the mascara, I'm now going to get you to peg the sponge bit. That way, we've only got the really rough mascara on one side only. That would be really good for grass as well. Then, out of this sponge as well, I'm going to get you to do the same thing, but we're going to peg where the mascara is, so now you've got the sponge. Okay, now I've got our string. So grab some string and just scrunch it all together. There's no particular way that you have to do this. And then if you can, once you've scrunched it, I'm just gonna wrap it around it so it holds. So you've got all this texture happening down here. I might even get the scissors and I might just cut a bit of them just to give it a little bit of a different look. Yeah, so some are folded, some aren't. Then we're going to get a peg and we're going to peg the end. And last of all, our last peg is going to be with cotton wool. Everyone's got cotton wool in their house, I'm sure. Or even if they're cotton tips, try and grab the cotton off the cotton tips. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this and I'm going to maybe just like push it in a little bit. We're going to fold it and peg it. And there you have it, our last peg, which is now a paintbrush. How great does this look? Okay, now let's get painting. So my first brush I'm going to use is my crepe paper brush. So I'm going to use maybe the colour blue. The more you go over and the more pressure you put on it, the better it comes out. Wow, look at that. That looks cool. Okay, so that's my first brush. My second one is felt. So I'm now going to use maybe, I think the light blue. Oh wow, that comes out cool. It's like splashes of water coming up. And I'm gonna just blend it into the other color. That looks cool. Okay, so that's my second brush. Now, my third brush is the sponges. So I've got the two that I made, and the width difference shows. So let's use this first one, and I'm going to use the pink one. And I'm gonna write my name. That has come out so good. I think that's one of my favorites so far. Then I'm gonna use the yellow with the wider one. That one comes out cool too because it's nice and wide. So that's cool. The next one is my mascara looking one. And remember, this one's quite cool because it's kind of like a stamp. And you can also make grass out of it, just remember that. But I'm gonna make the letter T out of this because that's my name. So let's go to a red and get the red on there. Okay, ready? That is so cool! So that is the mascara looking one, and I used it like a stamp. Then I've got the pipe cleaner one. I'm gonna make an eye out of this. So let's go to blue. Wow, look, I can even do a love heart. That's cool, I like this one too. Now we've got the sponge. Do you think I could do an E out of this one? Let's try it. Which one should I use? Maybe the orange. That's cool. Look at that. I like that one. It's got a real effect to it. That's cool. So there's my name, Katie, and we still have more paintbrushes to use. Let's try this one. We could do like some art around my name. So I'm gonna use the sponge and the mascara together. Let's use some pink. That's cool. It kind of does give it a little bit of effect. Look at the mascara mark on the side and then the sponge mark on that side. That's pretty cool. So that's that one. Now let's just use the mascara one. We'll use pink again, but let's do it on the other side. Maybe down here. Yeah, I like this one. And the less paint on it, the more effective it is. That's cool. You can see how it goes thicker to thinner. And now just use the sponge. Let's use yellow. Oh, look at those big dollops. I'm gonna put that around there. Yeah, I like that one. The sponges work really, really well. Now let's use the string. So, I don't know, what color should I use now? Maybe I could use the red and make a big red swish down the middle of the two blues. Ready? Let's do it. Wish me luck. Okay, ready? Oh no, this is just looking so artistic. Oops, I'm getting a bit carried away here. That is so much fun, that one. And last of all, I've got my cotton wool. So which color haven't I used the most of, do you think? Maybe the orange? I think we could use the orange. Okay, are we ready? Let's just get a big bit. Okay, what shall I do? I think there needs to be some up here. I'm just gonna drag it through. Oh, the cotton comes off it. The cotton wool comes off. Look, and then it sticks to the paper. Like that. That's great. What a great effect it gives you. red on there too. And then I'm just gonna put some blue on there. Maybe some orange again. Let's just mix all the colors together. Oh, that is so cool. Look at this. All of it together. I love this paintbrush. It's like all the colors in one and it gives a great stamp effect. You should try it. Definitely try it. It would be really, really good as like a little project at school or something. I'll show you. Let me hold up my piece of work. My one and only piece of art. What do you think? I think I'm really, really good. Well, maybe not as good as you back at home, but I would love to see your paintings on my Instagram page. So don't forget to subscribe to my Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much, Lizzie, for asking me to make my own paintbrushes. It was such a great idea. Stay tuned for more requests coming, and I will see you all soon. All my love. Bye.